So now we're going to show you some video from CNN. CNN used to be a place of journalism. It's a partisan Democrat outfit. And here's a guy by the name of Don Lemon, and he's struggling. He's struggling because there are bad people out there, and he's trying to be a journalist.
We sit around and we talk about these things, and we want to give this false equivalence to Democrats and Republicans. That is not where we are right now. Republicans are doing something that is very dangerous to our society, and we have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge that as Americans. We must acknowledge that as journalists, because if we don't, we're not doing our jobs. We cannot sit here and pretend like, well, Republicans, cut them a break. We want to hear whatever. They have a lot to answer for in this moment. A lot to answer for what happened with the former president of the United States. Whether you agree with abortion rights or not, why they have taken back a right that was that was granted to American women for 50 years. We have a former member of the Oath Keepers who is saying we are in very dangerous territory. We have a history professor who is telling us right now that the GOP is becoming more and more associated with extremists.
Guys, a history professor doesn't like the Republicans. Sweet Jesus, send out something on the wire. A history professor. A professor at a university who's a partisan hack? Who doesn't like Republicans? This is incredible. This is absolutely staggering. I'm freaking out, guys. So ridiculous. First off, let me just qualify with this. I used to be friends with Don. He's been on the show. He was a decent guy. He really was. Something broke him. Trump broke him. Black Lives Matter broke him. I don't know what broke him. Way back when, actually, when I had him on the show, he was openly talking about how Islamic violence, radical Islamic violence against gay people is a problem. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't talk about that anymore because he's gone full woke. But everything he said there, you could completely do the reverse of, and it would make more sense. The Republicans have gone extreme. Well, wait a minute. You mean the Democrats have gone extreme when they locked everybody down, and how in all the Democrat-run cities there's no law and order and lockdowns and blah, 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 all that stuff? Like, any of that? Then the Republicans have to deal with January 6th. Oh yes, that riot that lasted a couple hours, that was completely disorganized, that nobody brought any weapons to, and blah, 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 blah. They have to deal with that. Then there's this history professor, he's freaking out about that. And he dares sit there with his fake newsman glasses and his perfectly pressed shirt and jacket. I do my own, by the way. Okay, that's why my collars are sometimes a little relaxed, but that's my vibe. But his are very perfect because he's got 18 people in charge of his shirt and his glasses and all that stuff. That he sits there and pretends that we as journalists, the time to be nonpartisan is over. We're journalists and we have to save the republic. It's so bananas. It's just so ridiculous. And nobody's buying it. I know no one's buying it. But the reason I wanted to show you that clip is because I think it gets to the heart of what these people think that they are. They think, oh, perhaps there was a time when we could have been honest. It's just so odd that he's saying it out loud. Maybe there was a time where we could be honest. Maybe there was a time where we could debate things. But now there's so many Nazis over there. There's the January 6th thing. There's a history professor over there. We've got to do something to save the republic. It's complete drivel nonsense.